The election is creating an earthquake in the social media universe. People are searching for an alternative to X, the platform owned by Elon Musk. But what will take its place? Well, among the possible competitors, Threads, the platform started by Instagram and Facebook, Mastodon, a decentralized social media network, and then there's Bluesky. It was born under X when it was called Twitter. But Bluesky is rapidly becoming the go-to place for refugees from X. It has topped Apple's app charts for nearly 2 weeks now. And you've likely seen celebrities announce that they are leaving X for Bluesky, like Barbra Streisand, who posted, quote, "Effective immediately, any comments I post will be on Bluesky." And Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, he posted a fake newspaper with the headline, "Mark Hamill joins the Bluesky." A Star Wars icon takes flight to new platforms for hope and unity. Today, the platform announced it hit a major milestone, 20 million total users. But it still has a long way to go, of course, before it catches up to X and its 550 million monthly active users. Joining me now in her first television interview, Jay Graber, CEO of Bluesky. Jay, I'm really thrilled that you're here because people are leaning in fully on Bluesky and what it really is. And I have to ask you first about this decentralized platform. What does that mean?
Yeah, so it means that it looks like a normal app, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of different people who come in to create the experience, and it can have many more people come in and build it. So the differences between having like a single house or like a lot of hotel where you go in and there's a lobby, and then people are like building other units out back. And any developer, someone who can code, can come in and build a new, experience in the back. And so also the best example I have is email is built on something called a protocol. That's just a service that connects two services. So if I have a Gmail account and you have a Yahoo account, I can email you and we can still talk. That's something that's decentralized. If everyone is just on one service, I can't email you or I can't message you from Twitter to Facebook, right? Because those are centralized services.
I wonder what this past few weeks have been like for you. I mean, this has been so top of mind, a major headline for so many reasons, especially because there are a lot of people, celebrities included, who are flocking to Bluesky, and a lot of people joining. You're only 33 years old. You've got about, 20 employees or so. How are you managing the influx, the attention? What has this been like?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting. We've been scaling up. There's been about 1 million people joining a day for the past week. And we've just been telling people how it works, showing them how it's different. And a lot of people are saying they're having a lot more fun here. They're having an experience where they're making friends online again and talking to people that is just something that they haven't experienced in a long time. And so we're growing that experience for more people and then showing people what else you can do. People have come on and started building things like, an explorer that shows the whole network or a counter that shows the number of users coming in.
I wonder about the tone, because some people had been sort of fleeing X, so to speak, in order to have a different experience, a different tone. Was that the goal for you in creating Bluesky? It's not necessarily, it hasn't just been created. It's many years in the works, frankly. But the tone and the environment and the community that you seek to create through Bluesky, is it intentionally distinct from, say, an X?
Well, our goal is to give users an experience where they can have fun and feel safe. And so we've already always focused a lot on trust and safety, making sure that users have an ability to have an experience that's, free from bots and harassment and spam. And then, that's, I think, really core to the experience. But then beyond that, we want a place where people can express their creativity. And so they can come on and, explore a app store, basically, of all these feeds. It's like a marketplace of feeds. And then you can subscribe to the ones that you're interested in, sort of like subscribing to magazines. And so people who like cat pictures are just looking at the cat feed. So this lets people get really creative and discover their communities and find the places that they want to be within Bluesky.
How do you avoid a kind of echo chamber, or is that not a concern?
It's more about giving people a way to productively engage. And so making sure that, it's an environment where discussions can happen and people can have, different opinions, but people aren't getting harassed, and it's a place where people can split off and form their own communities. And it's really up to the user what they want to do. Like if you want to tune into everything going on around the whole network and see the most popular post for the last 24 hours, you can do that. Or you can go over to the forest feed or the moss feed and just look at really calm, relaxing nature pictures. So it depends on what kind of user you are.
You know, X has often been associated, particularly given Elon Musk, to promote more right-leaning content. And I do wonder if Bluesky, given how it's sometimes described, are you intending for it to be a kind of new resistance platform?
We're really building it for everyone. And so it's built for people to take it into their own hands and evolve it the ways that they want. And so the goal is to give people all the tools, all the code, all the ability to customize their experience. And then, I think social media should be basically common infrastructure that society gets to use and evolve it as society evolves. Building a more democratic form of social media to reflect a democratic society.
Sometimes society evolves, sometimes it devolves. I wonder what kind of guardrails are in place to avoid having content that is either highly offensive, problematic, or detracts from what your intention of this open community might lead to.
Yeah, so we have a stackable approach to moderation. Our head of trust and safety was working in moderation at Twitter and then stayed on under X and then came over to us. And so has experience with a lot of things at scale. And we've been making sure that the experience here stays a place where productive conversations can happen. And then people can layer on top of that. So it's stackable because anyone else can come in and also run a moderation service.
You are exponentially increasing your users by the day. How many users do you expect to have, say, this time next year?
It's hard to tell. I mean, you tell me.
I mean, the world is telling you might be millions and millions and millions. How do you intend to monetize?
We're rolling out subscriptions, and we're going to be building out a larger developer ecosystem and then providing services within that ecosystem.
Jay Graber, really fascinating. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.